have you here. I'm so excited that we got you, or the powers that be got you to K-Scope. I know a lot of people don't know that travel authorizations were tricky, and we knew that you were our Joel Kallman Contributor of the Year winner. We just had to get you here. And when the travel offer didn't come through, we were sending emails and we had plans for a meeting that you would be called to, and we call you in on Zoom. And then voila, your travel offer got approved. So we were so excited you'd join us in the general session. And then you said, oh, no, I can't be there till Monday night. So then we were scrambling, and then there was the ACE breakfast was off, and then it was on, and then it was, yes. So anyhow.
It all worked out.
Yes. And I'm so happy that you're here, and congratulations.
Thank you.
On the first Joel Kallman Oracle Contributor of the Year.
Thank you. It's hard to even put into words how happy I am and how, to be here, to be with everybody after 3 years, because I focus on community, so ACE community, user group community, and it's hard to, not be physically with the community, with, everyone for so long. So it's so nice to be here and see so many ACEs in person again. And the first time I ever went to K-Scope was when Joel received the Contributor of the Year award. So I remember thinking, wow, that's amazing for Joel, and he was so unique, right? He was amazing with the community, and the Apex community, and building it, and always there for everybody. So it's a huge honor to get the award. The first time it's Joel Kallman Award. So thank you.
Oh, congratulations! And it's so fitting because you have a passion for the Oracle community, Oracle ACE community, and so much happened these last few years behind the scenes. I mean, a lot of stuff was in front, and the ACE program was here, then it was uncertain, and then you were back. And I think the world heard this big sigh of relief when you were back, because you have that passion, and it was just so fitting because Joel had that passion.
Yes.
And that's what it takes to make events like this, and to keep our user groups and conferences like this alive. Because Zoom is great; it got us through what we needed, and it's a good tool for where it is. But I believe there's this exchange, and there's this excitement, and more learning and exchange happens when we get a group of developers at K-Scope, or the ACEs
together in person.
Together.
Yeah.
Just even our breakfast that we did the other day, it's like, hey, we're here.
And all the conversations that happen because you're together that wouldn't happen over Zoom.
Exactly. Things that we learn outside the session.
Right. And the networking, and I've heard from so many ACEs that it's because of the ACE program and the networking within it, and being at user group conferences like K-Scope, getting job opportunities, and just helping in all different ways. So we're so lucky to have K-Scope for a chance to get together and see each other. So
we're back.
Yes.
And in your new role, your database, but that includes Apex.
Yes.
So tell us, you have a very big umbrella here.
Yeah, so it's unique because the database organization is incredibly supportive and committed to the user group community and the ACE program. So that's my home, the database group. But even though I'm in database, the ACE program spans all different products. So I'm just very fortunate. It's a great group to be in, and they are very committed to the community and supporting user groups, and for all different user groups.
So we'll see more of you through the coming year, and when we plan, because we're starting to plan for Case Cup 23 now, so we're going to plan on having you there.
Yeah.
And so are there new products, new angles? I know Oracle is going through a shift. We want to do more OCI, like Apex with OCI, like, you want to send emails, you want to click in services, add other products. Does your group cover a lot of that, or these integrations? What's new and exciting to coming out? We've heard glimpses of 23.1 from Connor.
I can't. You're gonna have to cut that part out because I don't know any of the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. So for the last year, for our Oracle user groups, we didn't know who to go to in Oracle, and now that's you for how many user groups?
So the database group is also very committed to user groups and really values how they help the entire Oracle community, right? So we are going to be reaching out soon to many user groups globally and kind of continue what I've been working on the last year with the user groups. So helping with conferences, finding speakers, Oracle speakers, whether it's cloud accounts, so however we can help support the user groups, we are excited to do so because we know how much work. A lot of people don't know how much work all the volunteers for user groups put in to make events like this successful. It's incredible, how many hours and for how long, so we get that, and we and that's part of why the ACE program recognizes people that contribute in user groups too. It's a big commitment. You know that. And so, we love the passion, and we are want to help in every way we can. So.
Thanks.
Yeah.
One of those things, you may not know the story about me personally. Like, I've always volunteered for ODTUG on the technical journal, and then I got to be an ACE, and my husband goes, well, what does that mean? And I said, well, now Oracle recognized me for my contributions, and it's an honor. And I was really excited and proud, and he goes, do they pay you? And I said, well, no, it's an honor. And then a few years went by, and I started to do a little more. I got more involved with ODTUG. I got more. And, I finally made ACE director, and I was so excited. And I called my husband, and he goes, so what do you get? And, I said, I get a gold spade. And then he just laughed.
Yeah.
Goes, I know you love it.
Yeah.
You love it. And he knows I'm here, and this is our big thing. And he just checks in every day, and I just say, yep, I'm good, I'll see you. But he knows that this lights me up, that
yes.
I get more out of this. And he knows when I go to these different user conferences that he goes, oh, did you see Peter? Oh, are you seeing Mark? Oh, is that the ODTUG thing? And every now and then he'll know I'm leaving Thursday, such and such a conference. And I'll say, did you practice your dancing? And what's he talking about? Because he still remembers, like pants on the ground for an ODTUG board thing, and he remembers that I like to dance at these things. And the more dancing I do at these things, the less he has to do. So, but it's neat. He knows this is something I don't get at home.
Right.
I work remote with all my clients. My clients know that me coming to K-Scope helps them.
Right.
Because I learn new things, and they'll even ask, okay, what's the latest and greatest? What new thing can you bring back? And we use that in our planning.
But it's really like, especially the ACE program, or whether you're on the board, or when you go to these events, it's like you have your family there. It's like,
yes.
It's like you recognize people, they recognize you, and there's that instant, bond and togetherness. And it really makes going to conferences so much more enjoyable, and you get more out of it because it's like, you know,
Yeah.
your other family, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I wish we had someone videoing the arrivals this week because
So many hugs.
so many hugs.
Or elbow bumps.
And yeah, and we were looking. This year we have these stickers on our badges, and I said, "Where's the one that says hugs?" And they didn't do that for courtesy reasons.
Yeah.
But there were more hugs and
Yes.
things, and then we had a newcomers orientation like we usually do, so that people won't be totally lost. Like, where do I go? What do I do? And in that newcomers, we just sat down and talked to them like they were a member of the K-Scope family, which they are. And even in that, I said, okay, now talk to the person next to you, introduce yourself. And they all did, and we had to wait for everyone to start talking to say, oh yeah, by the way, and then, you know, we have session rooms up here, and then the exhibit halls downstairs. You know, it was good that they caught on right away.
Yes.
And that's one of the things we really strive for with ODTUG and K-Scope is that we're developers, we're doers, we're hands-on people, and we are here to meet other hands-on people and to meet the Oracle product teams, the Oracle developers, and that's where you guys bring these people. These are the people that are key to building the tools.
Right. And the Oracle product managers love coming here too, because then they get to meet the, you know, users of their product, get feedback, and it's nice to have the opportunity that attendees can go and directly talk to them too. Because where else are you going to get that opportunity, right? To actually talk to the, you know, people that are developing the products you're using. So and it's a win-win.
Yeah, and we don't mean like talk to like they're sitting on a panel with a tie on.
Right.
We talk to them at breakfast, lunch, in the hall.
Yes. It's that access, right? It's incredible access.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The Apex team kind of took over the booth with the Apex office hours on site.
Yes.
So everyone could get their 15 minutes with whomever from the ACE product team.
Right.
That they wanted, and that's incredible. And that's something we'll continue to do. And I'd love to do more with the database team. Some more. I know we are so honored to have Connor here this year. We were like, that happened. And I know Chris Saxton's.
He couldn't make it, but
make
Connor's
it.
doing 6 sessions.
I know, he couldn't make it, and we were bummed about that. But we understand this year is an odd year. We're hoping we'll have him, or if not him, someone else.
And hopefully next year we'll be back to normal, right?
Whatever our normal
Yeah,
is.
whatever our normal is, but
it's so valuable. Like, I've learned from coming to K-Scopes that I have this bug in this. I know who to contact.
Right.
And they answer my emails.
Yes.
And that's because
they know
not
you.
just because they know who I am from the conference. I mean, they're like
right.
it all the time. And we want to continue that. And we're looking forward to taking this energy that we have here, and there is energy here. It's really cool.
Yes.
And continuing throughout the year, we're starting up our meetups again, and so we'll be in contact to get speakers for certain meetups in certain areas. And I know Apex is easy, database is sometimes trickier, but I know where Chris lives.
Yeah.
We know where Jeff Smith lives, so if we do local things. And that's another wonderful thing about Oracle now is everyone
it's spread out.
Out, and
can have a speaker at all different meetups.
We can bring meetups to them.
Yeah.
And keep that vibe going. Open mic night. Were you there?
I was not there. I was with ACES.
Arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had just arrived. The thing we did with open mic night, traditionally, and you probably...
No, I've been to it, yeah, before.
Traditionally, it's Apex open mic
right.
night. But we opened it up to anyone.
Oh.
Within, there was a lot of Apex there, but Mike Duran got up and did some analytics front-ended with Visual Builder, and he said, okay, next time I'll front-end it with Apex. But these integrations are more and more what we're seeing in our day-to-day jobs at our clients, because it's what people need. I need to bring in this data. You don't need a whole new system with the way converged database works. Because I just think, oh, it's just external tables. I can pull in whatever I want. And that's so important because as an Apex developer, I'm not just Apex. I have analytics at my,
Right.
once I get into OCI, I've got a whole suite of tools. And so we want to show more of that, how people are integrating this and that. Stuart Bryson was in open mic night, saw Mike Duran get up, and said, oh, wait a minute. He went up to, left, people are still doing presentations. He left, went up to his room, got his laptop, started up an OAC instance, came back down, and in like 5 minutes went up and presented an analysis that he'd done on UFO sightings, just in that amount of time.
Wow.
And so we're hoping, it worked. We're definitely leaving it open mic night.
Right.
And so we're hoping to see more integrations like that and more kind of cross-community, cross-product.
And I think that's unique, right? To Kscope, having that open mic night and having that kind of the venue for people to get up and...
Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah.
And we know other Apex conferences have adopted it.
Oh, okay.
I think Apex Connect had it this year. But that's a good thing.
Right.
And it was something Joel always valued because he sees what people are doing
Right.
with Apex. And I think it's good because Apex developers or database people, or like Eric Van Roon showed us some JavaScript, like a little JavaScript mini library toolkit that he had built for SQL-CL. A lot of us use SQL-CL, and Eric just gave us this nice little toolkit that if I, as an Apex developer, had never met Eric at that event, I wouldn't know.
It existed, yeah.
And I wouldn't find it online, and I wouldn't find it on Zoom. And but now we know, and now I know, having worked a little bit more, or not even worked with Eric, just sat with him and talked with him and joked with him. I know he's got a unique sense of humor, and it puts a different light on my emails and my interactions with him. Eric was one of our database track leads this year, and he was very serious about that. But I got to see a whole new side of him, so that connection is stronger.
Nice.
And you were on our track team as a
Yes.
local liaison. Can you talk about that role? Because
Yes.
from your perspective, from my perspective as a conference chair, it is huge to have you guys.
Yeah, and thanks for including me. So I was on 3 content committees for
Lots.
Yeah, so Apex,
There's a lot of things.
Apex, Database Core, and Emerging Technologies. So I love it because you see all the papers that are submitted, so you see what people are talking about, and then it's great to see who's submitting to, because it's a way to find new new people to presenting, and the voting, do the voting on the sessions, and my part of my hat is to make sure we have the right Oracle people here presenting and covering certain topics, and then also community speakers too. So yeah, I loved working on the committees.
And you were great. You had all your votes in on time. It was awesome. For those that don't know, we have a series of tracks and track teams that review all the abstracts that come into Kscope. And Kscope is very competitive. It's got very competitive.
Yes.
So we review them for topic and content and quality, and then we try and get a diverse set, beginner to advanced, and we try and make sure we have a blend of new. We always include some new speakers. We include seasoned speakers. We try and weed out anything that's Oracle competitor, and between our rounds of voting and discussing and your aspect, I think we come out with a pretty
and I like the whole process, the discussion. There's really multiple discussions, lots of discussions on the different sessions, but just making sure, trying to make it the best conference possible, right? And that's the other thing is, the people that volunteer to be on the committees, it's a lot of work also, but they're devoted to having it be, the best experience for attendees. So,
and it's also a lot of fun to be on those shows because you get a preview of what's out there, and I'm like, I didn't know you could do that, or what's Adrian up to this year, or Dimitri. Dimitri always pulls a fun one out of his hat.
Yeah.
And some of those get in and some of them don't. It's always a challenge to know how much to put in this track and that track. And that's why we need the team, and we always need volunteers for that. And
yes.
We always need to, and value our Oracle liaisons for that. For those of you who don't know, our Kscope Review app is an Apex app. It's actually two.
Oh, is it?
There's one that does the management behind the scenes.
Okay.
And then there's one that's just for voting. So depending on your privilege, you will see one interface or the other.
Yes.
It's been hugely invaluable.
Because it's easy to use.
It's easy to use, and one of our tasks over this coming year is to then put our scheduling and overall, we call it the big sheet, where we have the big meeting where we say, because we have to balance sessions, and then we have to balance numbers of speakers and numbers of Oracle speakers. And if someone submitted to multiple tracks, then we have to give and take.
Right.
So it's not horse trading, but it is give and take, like which is the best value for the conference.
Right.
And then, okay, so if you take my Jim Sabrinsky, then now I have to fill that with someone else. We also balance across companies, and then we try and balance across days. So we have like 12 different reports that we look at, and we're now bringing all those reports into the Apex app. So everything will be done in that one app, which is hosted on apexoracle.com. Thank you very much. So if anyone Apex out there is not on apexoracle.com, time to get your account there, because that's where you'll have the newest version ready. You can test, upgrade your thing. I found new things today preparing for my presentation.
Oh, great.
I'm like, oh, they did that. And I always have like my company logo. Well, TH Tech is from Tuna Hunter, which is our boat. You may not have known that. That's the TH, Tuna Hunter. And so I've always had the little tuna fave icon. But when I used the app icon, it took that away. So I had to figure out how to put it back. But I'm like, you're playing with icons. But I knew that feature was there because of Mark's session at the Sunday Symposium, which you helped put together as part of your role.
Yeah, so I think the Sunday Symposium is unique too, right?
Yes,
for user group conferences, because it's a whole day of just Oracle speakers, and divided by tracks, of course, and it's also a great way to get to know who's who at Oracle, and knowing who to contact if you have questions, or just hearing directly from, again, the people that are working so closely with the product. So,
and what makes it unique, and I think unique to Kscope, is someone may have heard that and said, oh yeah, it's the sales guys, it's the marketing pitch.
Oh, it's not.
It's here's the new feature, and here's how you'll implement it.
Right.
Here's they don't always tell us how they built it, but here's how you'll want to use it.
Right.
And here's why it's important.
Yeah, they're more technical talks than not marketing talks. Yeah.
And for us to the Apex team has grown. So a lot of the people that were speakers the last live Kscope now work for Oracle. But I'll use Vincent Morneau. He was really big on progressive web apps and mobilizing the service provider. And lo and behold, Vincent is now presenting on progressive web apps as a feature of all Apex applications now declared a feature. And he could honestly say, this is where we are today, and this is where we'll be, where we think we'll be.
Right.
And then we have other features coming, and when they're ready that they can say something, they say something. So we know what's coming down the pipe. Another example is mapping feature that was, I think it was 21.1, where mapping was integrated. And I don't expect you to know the details, but I followed this because I have a client that wants a simple plan your visit application where they can click on a map and show me what's available to do in this area. And that's so simple now. The longest part of doing that app and putting it out there for them, and now we can make it a progressive web app, so people can download it to their, that's perfect. The longest part is adding the data. The app goes on very easily. And so more and more people can bring these kinds of things into their office, into places where these apps have never been.
Right. And create them quickly, right, and easily.
Quickly and easily. And then our plan for this is for a national park organization. So it's a not-for-profit. They assist the national park, and I don't want to mention names, but they set up, and when this is in place, because it's Apex and we can easily build up these interfaces, they'll be able to maintain it themselves. They'll be able to add data, edit data, swap photos, change areas. So that's huge. And now then they have, because they'll have an Apex service instance, they'll have access to building additional apps that they hadn't even thought of before. That gives them more capabilities far beyond WordPress. They have a beautiful website, but now they've got a database behind it.
Right.
They've got functionality behind it that's easily extendable.
So we have a new ACE app we're building. And I say we, it's the Apex team internally, but I am not technical at all, and I can go into our app and I can make changes easily myself.
Yay!
So if somebody non-technical can go in and change around the app and update things easily, that says something.
That's a lot.
Right, yeah.
And for that particular organization, I've told them, look, target interns, target students, they're on an island, get kids in high school, in junior high even, that are even remotely interested in tech or hospitality.
Right.
They don't have to be tech people, but here that gets them a skill and it gets them involved in a way that perhaps they didn't have that opportunity.
Right.
And it helps, expand their data at the same time. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Great.
So is there any last words for?
Just that, I'm looking forward to working with ODTUG for the next year too, between now and the next conference, and I'm excited. We've already talked about, things we'll be doing, regular meetings, and I'm looking forward to exploring kind of more of what we can do too that we haven't done in the past. Yeah, so I'm very lucky to be in the role I am, to be able to work with you and ODTUG, and I'm just so happy to be here again in person. So thank you for having me, and thank you again for the award and the so
we are lucky to have you. So thank you very much. And we'll see you all at Casescope 23.